Today, CGTV brings you the second part of our vaping investigation, along with a feature of lifelong gymnasts.
Hey CG, today is Thursday, April 26, 2018. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Abigail, and we have your CGTV broadcast brought to you by Mount Pleasant Christian Church.
Last broadcast, we brought you the first part of our investigation on the vaping trend. Please tune in for part 2.
On Monday, CGTV brought you a story about how vaping can hurt your body. If you aren't worried about the effects it can have on your health, then you should be worried about the effects it can have on your academic career.
You know, as a teenager, there's always, doesn't matter what generation you talk about, there's always going to be the pushing the line and being on the edge, and whether it was cigarettes or whether it's, today kind of vaping. I think that the idea is we don't know the harmful side effects, and what you put in your body, you've got to be very educated on. And I think that, if it's not making you better, it's making you worse.
Vaping is definitely not making you better. Remember, researchers are finding that the chemicals just in the flavoring, not even in the nicotine or other add-ins, cause major problems. Though vaping is legal in the community for people over 18, within the school it is against the drug, alcohol, tobacco policy.
It's something that our office has worked very hard to correct. We have had incidents of that we have taken full action on and given students consequences, confiscated the vaping devices, and held them accountable through school discipline. So like I said, we confiscate the device and then we suspend them. It could be anything from in-school suspension, 1 day or multiple days, all the way to out-of-school suspension for 1 day or multiple days. So it depends on, obviously, the number of offenses they've had, the amount of materials they have, and that sort of thing. But something we definitely crack down on with suspensions as well as the tickets.
As well as academic and health risks, being in possession of vaping devices can cause financial problems too. The fine for a tobacco ticket is up to $500 in the state of Indiana.
You get caught once, whether it's in the bathroom or you get caught with it in your bags or someone rats you out. It's one from us. It's just like you have tobacco. So it's a tobacco ticket, and so you get a citation for that. And then there's the school consequences, which we don't deal with. So the school will deal with that. So they'll confiscate the vaping, whatever it is, a Juul, or I don't even know all the crazy names of them. But so they'll take those, and typically they don't get them back. And those are pretty expensive.
Even knowing the health and disciplinary consequences of vaping, some students may be tempted to keep trying to get away with it. CGTV spoke with a company in New York which has invented a device to detect vaping in bathrooms. This type of device would make it easier for school officials to identify students vaping during school hours and stop them. Because it is illegal to have cameras in bathrooms, FlySense has developed technology to detect e-liquid vapors that are invisible to the eye. Don Crakes, the Vice President for Sales from FlySense, spoke with us about their product.
So what we have done is pioneered the ability to monitor the air quality and the decibel levels to be able to detect vaping as well as bullying. We have a number of sensors on the device that typically would sit on the ceiling in a bathroom. And what it does is it detects a whole host of vaping-related issues. The first and most important one is detecting something we call VOCs, which stands for volatile organic compounds.
The FlySense software has a second benefit. The detectors identify sound quality, which means if a fight were to break out in a bathroom or a student were getting accosted, they could simply shout and a notification would alert authorities. This added layer of safety would have multiple benefits for CGHS, despite the cost. To put FlySense detectors in the 20 primary bathrooms at CGHS, it would cost around $40,000. While it is expensive, it is a one-time expense, and the security budget for the high school is more than $200,000. Recent studies show that the dangers and consequences of e-cigarettes have made it clear that you cannot put a price on student safety.
Some students started their high school sport as children. For other students, their childhood passion translated into a unique way to their high school athletics. Lexi Woldman brings us a feature about students who were gymnasts and that found their skills useful in their high school sports.
There are about 50 million gymnasts worldwide. However, in 2002, of the 392 schools in Indiana, only 92 offered high school gymnastics teams. This leaves many gymnasts in Indiana to find new sports in high school. Fortunately, gymnastics lays the perfect background for other sports, specifically diving, pole vault, and track.
So gymnastics has benefited me by letting me be aware of where my body is in the air and where I am compared to the water, so I know when to dive in.
I think my background of gymnastics has helped me with diving because it allows my body to have control over what's going on in the air. And I also think the muscle memory of having gymnastics as a background has helped learn all of my dives too.
Strength and flexibility are focal points in gymnastics, which has proved beneficial in other sports as well.
Being strong from gymnastics has gone over into diving because you have to have the muscles to be able to pull your body around and be able to push the board down so you can go up. And flexibility, you have to be able to arch and touch your toes.
Being strong has helped with track by it makes everything easier, honestly, and I'm naturally good at it when I start it off first.
Since gymnastics is known to be hard on your body, these other sports have helped these athletes alleviate some of that pressure while still doing a sport that allows them to express their gymnastics-like talent.
So gymnastics is super hard on your body, but I think diving is super similar, but in the way you land. If you land properly, it doesn't hurt as bad, but if you don't land properly, it does hurt really bad. So I think having the stress off of your body from just landing, if you land properly, helps with your joints. It doesn't really cause as much pain as gymnastics.
Diving is a lot less harder on your joints compared to gymnastics because you're landing in water, not on a floor or on a beam or on a mat. But it's very similar to gymnastics, which is a good thing because I love both of the sports so much.
So I chose to do track instead of gymnastics because it was a lot less harder on my body. And I just kept getting hurt with gymnastics, so I was leaning more towards track.
If there was a school gymnastics team, I would be on the diving team because there's not a lot of injuries, and I've gotten a lot of injuries from just the wear and tear it has on your body. And so, yeah, I would be on the diving team for sure.
Okay, so if there was a gymnastics team for the high school, I probably wouldn't, just because I don't want to get injured anymore.
So if there was a gymnastics team, I would really consider joining it, but the only problem is I've had a lot of serious injuries with that sport, and diving is just a lot less harder on your body, so I'd probably go with a safer route.
Last weekend and this coming weekend, some students are putting on a play called Pirates of Penzance from a local performing arts company. Cole McDaniel brings us a feature of some underclassmen who are stepping up for the play.
The spring play at the high school is over, but that doesn't mean that performing is done for some CG actors. This weekend, Agape Performing Arts will perform The Pirates of Penzance on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at McGowan Hall on Delaware Street. This community theater has provided a way for some underclassmen to get experience leading a musical class.
It is a little bit intimidating being a younger member of the cast and having a lead role, but everyone is so encouraging, and I've learned so much from the older, more experienced actors, and I'm really thankful to have become friends with them, and I'm really excited to see how the show turns out.
Carlin plays the role of Mabel, who is the female lead in the show. Another lead is played by Carter Dills, a sophomore, who is the sergeant.
It certainly feels like there's a lot of responsibility on me to live up to what some of the older people can be, but I do believe that the way I have acted in past shows and stuff, it kind of matches with the character I am now, and so I think that I am very well prepared for this role.
That preparation began in January. Rehearsals have been twice a week at Our Lady Greenwood for months.
I spent months and months preparing for this role, reading the libretto, practicing the music. I went over it with my voice teacher. The thing that's different about playing Mabel is that it is written for a classical singer, and it's not a common thing that someone my age gets to sing a role like that. So the classical training that I have behind me has really helped me with that.
Another thing that has helped the two young actors is that they are not new to the stage.
Well, I performed in a few other theater productions before now, and that has certainly helped, as well as just it helps with a lot of acting and singing, and I have just worked with Agape a lot, and so I really feel like I kind of know how they work, and I just feel very prepared with working with the people I know.
These people range in age from 13 to 19, but that doesn't hold the cast back.
With Agape is very family-like, so it's not too much like older people are more important and younger people are less. We all act like a family, and everyone's very equal, so it doesn't matter too much about age, really.
Age doesn't really seem to have that much of an effect on how I interact with castmates. We do have a very wide range. We have 13-year-olds through 19-year-olds. Everyone just treats each other as an equal, and it's really great.
To get tickets to see Carlin, Carter, and other CG students on this week's production, go to thelittleboxoffice.com/agape to order tickets or purchase them at the door.
With graduation quickly approaching, Hannah Bumps and Mitch Sparks went out and found some seniors that have some advice for underclassmen.
As the school year comes to an end, we ask seniors to give some advice to their classmates who are still going to be here next year.
Okay. My advice would be, work hard, study, don't give up, don't let senioritis set in. Just keep pushing at the very end, because it's hard. You got to keep pushing.
My advice for you guys is basically, if you don't do your homework before, just come here a little bit early so you can get that stuff done.
You should eat a healthy breakfast because it's brain food, keeps your brain going.
Get a part-time job during your junior and senior year. It's really fun to be able to hang out with your friends at work and make money while you're doing it.
So advice to the other classmen is to just open up, be yourself, and make some new friends. I used to stay with the same friends, but then I branched out and met new people, and they became pretty close friends.
My advice for upcoming seniors is to take the ACT or SAT as many times as you can. My personal experience, I didn't get the score I wanted the first time, and the second time I did it, got super scored, and it was way better.
My advice to underclassmen is to take your classes seriously, because your GPA lasts for 4 years and it just benefits you in the end.
I would just say to treat everybody you meet with respect, even if they're different. Just be nice to them, because at the end of the day, we're all humans, and I don't know, we're all just trying to make it through high school.
My senior advice is to not procrastinate, because senior year can be really stressful if you don't stay on top of things and get your work done.
My advice for everyone left in the school after I graduate would be to be whoever you want to be, and don't let anybody else hold you back, because at the end of the day, all you have is yourself, so you're going to have to make something out of that. So go ahead, make a brand, do something with that, make friends, make connections with the people around you, because that's what really matters in life.
Now let's go to Kelsey, who has our sports report for today.
Okay. Tuesday night, the girls lacrosse team dropped their game 15-8 at Westfield. On Tuesday, the boys volleyball team defeated Beech Grove in 3 sets, then was defeated in 3 against Covenant Christian last night. Also last night, the #1 ranked Trojan softball team defeated second-ranked New Pal 3-2. The baseball team also defeated Warren Central 9-8. Girls tennis also completed a 5-0 sweep of Lawrence North. The team is now ranked 6th in the state. That's all we have for you today, CG. Stay tuned for your general announcements and upcoming sporting events.